We are SpielMill. We know how you feel.
We like to know your spiel.
We go. Hi, I'm Jayne.
And I'm Jen.
And we're SpielMill.
And we are going to count down our top 10 most anticipated games of 2023.
This is our first video we've done in a while, so bear with us.
Yes.
But we're very excited, so...
Yep, and we do not know each other's lists, so I think we'll start with which one?
I don't know. Why don't you go first?
Okay, so I have a couple of honorable mentions, but maybe we should save those for the end.
Save those for the end, yeah.
Okay, so my 10th most anticipated game is The Fox Experiment from Elizabeth Hargrave.
Good choice.
Yeah, so this is based on a real thing that happened in 1958. A group of, I think, Russian researchers decided to breed foxes that showed less fear of humans or were more friendly to try to create domesticated foxes, which is super fascinating to me. And I'm sure it's going to be beautiful and adorable and a great game because it's Elizabeth Hargrave.
Yep. Yeah, should be a good game.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one too. I think it was an honorable mention for me.
Okay.
But only because the actual fox experiment was kind of cruel.
That is fair. That is fair. But the idea of curling up with a cute, fuzzy little fox at night, I
think it's going to be a great game. And we're hearing good things from other people who've played it. So.
Yep. Yeah, so that's my number 10.
Okay, my number 10 is a title from Deepwater Games, and it's called Rat Queens to the Slaughter. And this one's a pretty cool, like, boss battler, where you're basically various rat queens. And, you know, they're actually, aren't they like humanists? I don't know. They're anthropocentric at a minimum. So, anyway, it's very exciting. It's from Erica Bououris and Senfun Lim are the designers, and I'm very excited for this one. I don't know a huge amount. We backed it on Kickstarter, but it looks really fun, theme, and exciting.
This made my top 20 for sure. I won't say whether it's in my top 10, but it definitely was on my short list.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, my number 9 may or may not come out this year.
Uh-oh.
And I thought about not putting on because it's all up in the air, but I have been so excited for this game since we backed it on Kickstarter in 2019.
Okay.
And that is AVGhost Paranormal Investigation.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea whether it's going to be a good game or not, but I'm so excited for it. You're basically, solving a mystery with, it's a cooperative game, which we love cooperative games for 1 to 4 players. Sort of dungeon crawly a little bit in that, you're going around and investigating things and trying to figure out what happened. But you play it in the dark and the pieces light up. Yeah. And I am so excited about this. I was so excited when we backed it, and I'm a stubborn MFer, and so it is on my top 10. It is my number 9 most anticipated games for this year. Hopefully it shows up.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too, but I left it off mainly because of the ambiguity. It's actually been produced and sitting in a warehouse, I think, in Spain. And
yeah, I should mention the designers. That's the other thing, is that they're Spanish designers. It is Pablo Maras and Beatriz Alvarez. Okay. So
that's exciting.
Looking forward to it.
So I think it's just a question of making sure they deliver, because the Kickstarter has had they ran out of funds, basically. So.
Yeah, like a lot of designers and publishers, they fell into really some problems due to the pandemic and the increased shipping costs. But again, I'm stubborn and I insist. I'm excited for this game, and it is going to show up this year, and we're going to play it.
Okay, well, my number 9 is a different game. I'm pretty sure this will deliver, and it's this one has a nice feel to it. It's called Jiangnan, Life of Gentry. And it is based on arts and crafts in China in the 1500s, I believe. And it's got bag building, and I believe maybe, I wanted to say worker placement, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But I remember the Kickstarter. It gives me the same feel a little bit as Iki, which was more of a local market kind of game. Maybe less arts and crafts, and this is more arts and crafts, but I'm pretty excited about it. It looks really good. And
it does.
I guess what little bit I've heard is really promising. So
Yeah, it is worker placement and bag building.
that's perfect.
So
That's perfect.
that is very exciting.
So I'm very excited about that. So
Yep.
that's my number 9, Jiangnan, Life of Gentry. This is coming out from Midas. Probably said that wrong. Game design. And the designer is Duju Wei, I think. Dugu Wei or Duju Wei.
That's the other exciting thing about it is actually an Asian designer and design team, as opposed to,
Which is what Iki was, too.
Yeah, which I really like. It's possible for people to pay homage to a culture that they're interested in and design a game about that culture, but too many designers from a lot of these countries haven't had the same opportunities, so it's exciting that it is by...
It's pretty great.
Yeah, yep.
So that's my number 9.
Okay. I kind of regret my number 8, but my number 8 is My Island from Reiner Knizia.
Why do you regret it?
Because the game was fine. It was good. We really enjoyed it. But I think I'm probably, in truth, more excited about games like the one you just mentioned. But here's the thing. So...
We had so much fun playing My City.
Yes. Jayne has been sick, has been battling a lot of illness, and so there were a lot of months that we went without games, and My City was one we actually were able to get to the table and play in some of your sicker times, and it has such a special place in my heart that, My Island coming out, I just can't help but be so excited about it.
So that's a good reason.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it coming out. Again, it's a legacy game. As you play, you transform the board, and you get you sort of like power up and get more pieces. And we just had such a lovely time playing My City that I think My Island's going to be great. It looks a little different too. It looks like it has hexagonal pieces instead of square. So.
Well, I'm sure, it's Knizia. If there's not every design he comes out with is great, but it's all pretty consistent, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and since My City was a hit with us, I can't imagine My Island is going to be...
Yeah, we really enjoyed it.
Terrible.
So that's a good pick. All right. My number 8 is a game that we actually play tested a bunch, and I know we're going to love it. It's called Distilled. And it's about distilling alcohol. The game changed a little bit through evolution. It started out with a little bit of deck building. I'm not sure if it still has that, but it has a nice mechanic where you add cards to the basically the barrel or whatever to the mix, and then it takes off the angel share, so like the top card comes off and the bottom card comes off. So it's kind of neat. Like that. It mimics the distilling process pretty well for a game, and it's just alcohol tourism is something we've done in the past.
It's true.
So for better or worse, and I don't know, it just looks it was fun when we play tested it. I'm sure it's going to be fun. And Dave Beck, the designer, and I believe it's Paverson Games, he was very conscientious throughout the design. He was play testing it through all the online conventions, and I'm sure in person as well, but very excited for that one. So
yeah, I would like to mention the fact that I broke the game, which I'm really proud of. I forget what exactly I did, but one of our play tests, I sort of found a workaround and just destroyed everybody. And it was just fun to find something that the designer hadn't anticipated and, be able to help distill the game down so it plays... I know. So that it plays smoothly. Because I'm usually not that clever, but I just found something and
she's super clever.
So that was fun. That's a good choice.
All right. Okay. Your number 7?
My number 7 is League of Dungeoneers by Michael Lundstedt. And it's basically meant to be like a tabletop RPG without a dungeon master. You can play it with a dungeon master, but you don't have to have one, which is great for us because we don't get out and do a lot of group things, but we love to play TTRPGs. And this was such a passion project of the designer. It was Kickstarter. We backed it on Kickstarter. And I forget the level of funding that he went for, but it was pretty low. He just wanted to produce the game. And I really love that sort of spirit. He really is truly an independent designer who just had this idea that he wanted to see come to life. And it looks great. There was a lot of community feedback and input on it as he was working on the Kickstarter. And I'm just really, really excited for this one.
It was very cost effective too.
Yeah, it was very cost effective. It wasn't expensive. Again, he just wanted to cover the costs. So that is League of Dungeoneers by Michael Lundstedt. Super excited.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I don't think I made it on my list, but it was one I thought about. For all those reasons, I'm pretty excited about it. The truth is we made a top 10, but I could have made a top 25.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Easily. So my number 7 is a legacy roll and write, and it's not my build and roll or my roll and build. Anyway, it is Sagrada Artisans. And this is, we backed it on Kickstarter, and we love theme, and this one looks so thematic with the coloring in of the different stained glass windows. You know, Sagrada, this is based on the game Sagrada. It's the same people, Floodgate Games is doing it, and but this is a roll and write legacy version where you get to color in the different windows and go through a whole legacy campaign, playing basically variants of Sagrada. So I'm very excited for this. I really like Sagrada, and I think this is going to be a good one. I hope it's going to be a good one.
Yep. Yeah, you know what? I kind of forgot that's what it was. I saw it on the list and just like passed right over it thinking it was just a regular expansion. So now that you mention it, that's a really good pick. I am super excited for that one too.
Yeah, that's a good...
It's hard to remember what everything is.
It's a good pick.
It is a
My
good
pick is good.
Your pick is great. My pick is better. So my number 6 is Pampero.
Very good pick.
So, and this has been on a lot of anticipated lists.
Yeah.
It is a game, it's a typical Euro game about building wind power farms in Uruguay. It is by Julian Pombo with Ian O'Toole did the art. One of the things that's really cool about this, or that has me excited about it, that a lot of people haven't talked about, is that Julian Pombo designed the solo mode for some Lacerda games, CO2 and Lisboa. And he was on the design team for a bunch of other Lacerda games. Oh. So, you know, that tells me that hopefully, it already looks like it's going to be that kind of very typical crunchy Euro game.
Yeah.
But that street cred has me particularly excited for this because we do love a Lacerda.
Yeah, so hopefully it pans out because I'm pretty excited about this one as well.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, it's a great theme.
All right.
So my number 6, we're on 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one looks like it might not happen for a while, but it's actually in production now. And it's Manchukuo. Oh. And this is based on, I believe, the Japanese occupation of Northeast China in 1932. And that was very specific for someone who's not 100% sure. But this was so interesting. It's such an interesting theme, but they had to try to survive their culture through the occupation, which was challenging. And the game focuses on that. They actually had to deal with a lot of censorship issues publishing the game. And
that's right.
They had to make some changes to the game. They did as minimally as possible to comply with, the China regulators, but because it was being produced in China and China had some opinions. But that's pretty interesting. And I don't know I'm not that up on that histories, so I could be getting some of the details wrong, and I apologize. But it's coming out. It's Penguin and Panda Productions, and Michael Mihalsik is the designer. It's a super interesting theme, and it's a worker placement game. I love worker placement games, so this one really has my attention. Has had it for a long time. I started to feel kind of down on it just because I was questioning whether it would come out, but it looks like it will come out, and I'm very excited for it again.
Another one that my eyes just glazed over because I forgot what it was and I didn't look into it. The that period in history in China was brutal. We don't talk a lot about what happened in China during World War II because obviously the Nazis kind of overshadowed everything. But it was pretty bad. It was pretty evil. There was a lot of medical experimentation, similar to what the Nazi doctors were doing. And yeah, China was really pretty brutalized during World War II and the lead up to World War II. So I am also, I'm a historian, or I was at one point in my life, looking forward to this game as well.
So, yeah, so that's my number 6, Manchukuo.
Okay, my number 5 is a very, very heavy game. It's probably my heaviest one on the list, I'm going to guess, and that is Impression. And it is designed by Attila Suyogi. Oh, I just totally destroyed his name.
And this one's shipping soon, so
yes.
That's exciting.
And Hegedus Saba. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I should have looked up how to pronounce her name because that was terrible. But it's a 4.27 weight on BGG already. It's a heavy euro, and Attila, as we refer to him in this household, is the person who designed Prehistory, which we love. And what else? There's another
Avaroma.
Avaroma, right. So games that we love. We've got a great track record with this designer. When this came out on Kickstarter, it was Instaback for us. And the theme is really cool too. It's about the history of printing, which is, as history buffs and bibliophiles and just all around nerds, was a theme that really got us excited. So again, between the design team and the theme and the fact that this is a super heavy, crunchy euro, I am so excited about this. This is in my top 5 anticipated games for the year.
I think I made a mistake not getting this one on my list because I really love Attila's designs. Prehistory's in my top 10 and Avaroma's in my, I don't know. It
would be higher if we'd played it more.
Yeah, it'd be higher if we played it more, I think. It's really clever worker placement. Both of them have really clever mechanisms. They're a little bit abstract, painted on theme, a little bit, I guess. But I really like them. I find them very immersive.
Yeah.
Because of the gameplay.
I love Prehistory. So. Oh my gosh, that's such a good game. So yeah, so super excited.
Yeah, that's a good pick. So my number 5 is a game I'm very excited about. I really love nature-oriented stuff, and this one is one we got on, I believe, GameFound, and it's called Redwood. And this is it's from Sit Down Games. The designer is Christophe Rambaud. Maybe I got that right, I hope. Sorry, we're not very good at pronunciations. But this is about photographing wildlife, which is a nice, refreshing theme. We're not hunting them. We're not, we're just photographing them. And it's got a pretty intricate system for getting the wildlife within your capture of your lens. And I'm interested for it. It's going to be interesting to see how intricate that is and how smooth it is to play. But it's such a beautiful looking game. I'm a sucker for, I think it has a round board. I'm a sucker for a round board. Avaroma has one of those. So I'm very, very excited for Redwood. It looks beautiful and a beautiful theme. And I'm very excited.
Yeah, and something that is kind of funny is that we always photograph our animals in our games because Jayne is a vegan, I'm almost a vegan, and we don't like to kill the animals. So we tend to go sightseeing to see the whales.
That's why I thought of Nantucket as a whaling game where we're just like, we're going sightseeing.
Yeah, we're whale watching. But this game is actually about that, which I love. I love that they've worked that into the theme in a way that is more natural and more embedded in the gameplay.
Yep, I agree.
Okay. All right. My number 4 is by the designer of another game that we love, and that is Ryozen by Martino Chiachera and Michelle Piccolini. The other thing is I can barely see my computer. I'm like an old lady now. I should probably make the font bigger, but trying to read these names, not easy. But they designed Messia, and we love Messia and something else too.
Well, they're all from Tabula Games, and Tabula. We have a few Tabula games. We haven't played a couple of them, but Miss Thea we absolutely loved.
Gollum? Was that them? No.
I don't think so.
I'm blanking.
Trying to remember what else they did. Volfarion, but we haven't played that yet.
Anyway, we do love Miss Thea.
I think they did that. So.
And I'm very excited about this because it's a worker placement, which we love, and it has a layered rotating board with a thing in the middle of it. Enough said. I'm such a sucker. For table presence in a game. And that sort of, I love a layered board so the pieces don't go all over. Round boards, love round boards, love three-dimensional aspects, and we already, we love worker placement, and we like this design team. So I'm really excited about Ryozen. I have high hopes for it, and I'm really looking forward to this one. That's why it's my number 4.
Yeah, that's pretty... Yeah, I mean, that is what it is. It's a pretty good pick. I'm very excited for it. I don't think it made my top 10, but just because there were so many tough choices, so many good choices.
I know.
There's a lot of good games coming out in 2023. So my number 4 is a game. It's actually an old game that's being redone, and it's called Granja. And of course, it's being redone. I forget who's redoing it, if it's SpielMill's or someone else. But you know, I don't know enough about it, but it's about farming. And everyone who's played it, like I know the Brothers Murph has been raving about it. It's got like quad purpose cars. It's got little animal meeples and stuff like that we love. And you know, we love
like our cup of tea.
We love our farming games. So you know, I'm just very excited about it. We're very excited, I'm sure, but I'm very excited about it as my number 4, La Granja.
Yeah, and I didn't put it on my list specifically because it's a reprint, which is stupid.
I debated,
but I had to have some way to cut things out of the list because it was just, you know, I easily had 20 games that I had trouble figuring out how to pare down.
Super easy to do another top 25 or something.
Yeah. So that's a really good pick, and I also am super excited for that one to come out, even though it's not on my list. So my number 3, I feel like I don't know as much about it as I do some of the other games, but I'm so excited for it, and it is The Dark Quarter.
Oh yeah, you've been
vampires, New Orleans, 1980s, jazz. It's got this dark aesthetic. It's cooperative. We love cooperative games. I get my ass kicked by Jayne in games a lot. And so I am very excited sometimes to just put on a cooperative a game on the table. I forget what we've been playing recently that I just can't win. But
I know what I've been playing, but I can't win.
That is true. But I feel like most games are games that I just don't win at. And so I am so excited for this cooperative game. Again, the aesthetic, the dark aesthetic, the 1980s, you're investigating, you're solving mysteries that have like this supernatural element to them. I mean, obviously there's vampires. And it is designed by Evan Derrick, who did Final Girl. And we've been playing Final Girl cooperatively. I know it's a solo, but we've been playing it together cooperatively.
Yeah,
and
a lot of people do. If you
fun.
go on the forums on BGG, there's a lot of people who do it the way we do it.
Okay, great. So I am just so excited about The Dark Quarter.
Yeah.
I feel like it has a soundtrack too. I could be making that up, but
I don't know. But it has an app, and so there's voice and stuff like that. So there's the only reason I'm not more excited about this is because of my illness. I struggle a little bit with story games.
Yeah.
But I like them a lot, so it's kind of frustrating, and so they're not at the top of my my excitement list.
Yeah.
For the most part.
That's fair. Well, I think we'll have fun playing this, hopefully. And that's my number 3.
Well, my number 3 is, I'll tell you the truth, I don't know enough about this. I just really like the theme, and I thought, for example, there was hand management involved, but I'm looking at the mechanisms in Board Game Geek, and I'm not seeing that. But it involves, it's a game called SHASN AZADI, and you basically play different revolutionaries. It's like a mix and match game. So I guess it's a little bit like Unmatched or something, but you're taking revolutionary movements who are part of the game instead. So it's like the Russian revolutionaries and the American revolutionaries can be different factions, or and you're playing the game around it. It's kind of area control, which isn't our best theme. So I guess we're going to see how much we actually like it. Best mechanism, I mean. And so, like, we'll see. But I'm very excited about the theme. I just was very excited about it, and I put it all the way up here at number 3.
That is very high. I am way more excited about that than any of the Unmatched or any of those games pitting Marvel superheroes against each other. I could care less. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
I could care less. This revolutionary movements from history.
It's interesting.
Oh my God, my cup of tea. I am super stoked for this as well.
Yeah, it's a very interesting theme. Whether we love the mechanics in the end, we'll find out, but we really like the themes, and we love themes, so theme is a big driving force for us, so we did back it. Although we did just play a game about the Russian Revolution that we liked, but we're getting rid of, and that's Dual Powers 1917.
Yep. But the head-to-head area control in that did not bother me that much.
Yeah.
That was in part because it was a quicker game, but I think there are some situations where it's
I just don't think we'll play it much.
No, we won't.
Yeah, so.
If anybody wants to buy it from us, let us know. All right. So my number 2, I'm so excited about. I could jump up and down right now. I think it would shake the camera and mess up the sound, so I'm not going to do it, but I want to bounce in my chair. I am so excited for this game, and that is Astro Knights.
Oh.
Okay. It is by the designers of Aeon's End. Evan Derrick. That was The Dark Quarter. See, so far away. Nick Little and Will Sobel. Will Sobel is the designer of Aeon's End. I freaking love Aeon's End. Oh my God. It's a cooperative. This is a cooperative deck building game. I think it's going to be very similar to Aeon's End, but with a different theme. I'm sure that they have learned something. There's been many iterations of Aeon's End. And so I suspect that they've kind of streamlined some of the things in this that maybe people didn't love, although I love the game. But I'm just so excited to see what they came up with. So something that's just a little bit different from Aeon's End, but has some of the same mechanisms. One of my favorite things about it that I think is so clever is you don't shuffle your deck. It's a deck building game, but you don't shuffle your deck. So you play cards, then you discard them, but they stay in that position. So you have to kind of think about where you want those cards to be in relation to other cards, because some of them power up or get more powerful if they're next to another card. So you might want to wait to play it. Even though it would be good this turn, it could be really, really good if you hold it until you get the right card up in your hand. So we just love it. We could sit and we could play Aeon's End all day. Yep. We have sat and played Aeon's End all day, 8, 12-hour stretches, just game after game. So I think that we are really going to enjoy Astro Knights, and I'm excited to explore it.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. It's a very good choice. It didn't make my list, but, just because there's so many good choices.
I know,
there's so many good choices. So, my number 2 is the first actual crossover of this list. I can't believe it took this long. Is Pampero. And I just love this theme. And what I'm actually really excited about, this is about energy building in Uruguay, right? And like you said, the designer has worked with Lacerda and different things. What I'm actually really excited, though, is it's coming with an expansion where you get to make nature reserves, which is kind of right up my heart.
It is.
So I'm very excited about the expansion because I just want to do that. I probably might have a problem where I just want to do that, but
I'm gonna win.
So, but it's very exciting. This looks like a very high quality game about our energy future and about conservation and of wildlife and plants and whatnot. And I think that's very exciting and dealing with the climate crisis. So for me, the theme is fantastic. The gameplay looks interesting. I don't know enough about it to talk about it. I know there's hand management. There's action retrieval. There's it looks very Euro. Set collection is a part of the game, so it's very Euro, and we like Euros a lot. And
We do.
especially heavy Euros. So.
And the designer is Uruguayan.
Yep.
So again, another designer that is writing or designing games based in where they are from.
Their culture. I was very interested in the fact that it was featuring Uruguay, which of course I have no game that features Uruguay except for Risk. So, so if you want to, it doesn't even. I don't think feature Uruguay, but you know what I mean. Like, there's no like games about Uruguay, and so it's totally interesting to me, and I really am very excited for it. Super duper excited. So. I can only say that so many times without it being redundant, so I'll end it there. And Jen already talked about it, so that's my number 2, Pampero.
All right. My number 1 is probably not a surprise. Might be a crossover. I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know.
I think it will be, but you go ahead.
Frosthaven.
It's Frosthaven.
Frosthaven! We love Gloomhaven so much. What a glorious time we had playing Gloomhaven. And from everything we've heard, Frosthaven has worked out some of the kinks. Although I didn't think there were all that many kinks, but I really did not have a lot of complaints about Gloomhaven.
No, not at all.
But
I mean,
again, you learn, you hear, get feedback, what people like, what people don't like. You streamline it, you make it better. From everything I hear, Frosthaven is in fact better than Gloomhaven, which is hard to imagine because Gloomhaven is and always will be, I think, my number 1 game. Well, I guess until Frosthaven comes on the.
Yeah, we'll see. Certainly we're, it's doing very well. The ratings are going up and up, and there were some people who, without playing it, rated it low to try to mess with it because there's people like that in the world. But I think I'm very excited for the part where you build the outpost town up.
We always loved going to town.
Yeah, we loved going to town, and always wanted it to be more, and now it's more.
Yep.
So I'm very excited for that more. And the only thing I'm ambivalent about is, again, this goes back to my illness, is that there's so much more rules that that's a lot for me to read. And I usually do the rules reading. Partially because I'm disabled. I do have the time. I just don't have always the brain capacity. So it's kind of a catch-22. But I'm very excited for it. And we'll manage one way or another. I've been using videos a lot lately to learn rules of games. So I think I'll probably be doing that with this as well.
Yes, I am. Also hoping that we can figure out some workarounds to make it possible for us to play this. I don't think we'll be able to do what we used to do, which is, again, game for 12 hours, just set Gloomhaven up at, we would literally hop out of bed. I'd start breakfast while Jayne started setting up, and we would play until we were like, oh my God, is it midnight already?
Yeah, I have to take breaks every couple hours now, so it's kind of a different world since my illness, and that's okay, but it does mean we can't just go 12 hours straight.
Yeah, but I think we're still going to love Frosthaven. I am so excited for it. Of course, it is designed by Isaac Childress and Cephalofair Games. If you don't know that, I'm not sure why you're watching this video, because I think all gamers are at least aware, whether they like it or not, of Gloomhaven. So yeah, that's my number 1, and that's your number 1.
Yeah, that makes sense. Since we had 2 crossovers. What about honorable mentions?
Oh gosh, I have so many honorable mentions. I'm just trying to decide what to mention. You mentioned a couple of them, so I'm going to skip over the ones you mentioned, like Distilled, and Jiangnan. And Aeon's End is also coming out with a game this year, Past and Future, which I'm super excited about. But again, we've played a lot of Aeon's End, and there's just some new games that I'm really excited to explore. So I think the first one on my honorable mention list is not a board game. It's a tabletop RPG, and that is Brindlewood Bay, the cozy murder mystery, where it's a tabletop RPG where you are basically Jessica from Murder, She Wrote, right?
Yeah,
it's Murder, She Wrote. It's based on Murder, She Wrote, and you're a couple of old ladies solving mysteries, which super pumped.
Very excited for that.
Okay, go ahead.
Are we gonna rotate? Okay. Yeah. I have a list here. They're not in any particular order, but I'll start with the first one. is an expansion coming out from Flamme Rouge, which is Flamme Rouge Grand Tour, which is kind of where you do a whole series of races, legs of like the Tour de France or something. So you do a bunch of different races as part of a single game, or however you want to do it. But very excited for that because we really like Flamme Rouge. We haven't played Heat, which I know is the new game based on Flamme Rouge. We're more interested in bicycle racing than car racing, but we'll find out one way or another. And certainly this is an exciting version of Flamme Rouge.
Yeah, absolutely. Also on my honorable mention is a absolute cheat. It is 4 games in 1, and that is the Stuff on Found City collection.
Oh my God, did I forget that on my list? I did. That meant to be on my list.
Yeah, I am so excited. The 4 games that are coming this year are Hamburg, Marrakesh, Amsterdam, and New York. I am particularly excited about Marrakesh because it has a cube tower, and it's the only one that's not a re-implementation of something else.
Well, we haven't played any of the
originals. So I mean, I'm still super pumped about them.
Yeah, it's super exciting.
But I think Marrakesh is the one that I am super excited about.
That's a good pick. My second honorable mention is Monstrosity: Unusual Suspects, and this is a party game where you're drawing weird monstrous kind of things, I believe, and it just looks really fun. I know there is a retail version of Monstrosity already available at Target. It's one of those, and a Kickstarter sort of somewhere in the loop, but we are supposed to get it in the next couple months, so I'm very excited for Monstrosity. I think it's a party game that'll be hit with our friends, and we are the most gamer of our friends, so it seems like it's going to be a good sort of game for non-gamers as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm very excited for that.
And then I think I have like 17 other games, but I'm only going to mention one other because you mentioned Distilled, which is up there for me, but
I have like 3 or 4 more.
Okay. Well, Vidor and Garden, which is by Frank West, and it is a tile placement game it's a cooperative tile placement game that takes place in the universe of City of Kings. And Frank West designed Isle of Cats and the Isle of Cats Roll and Write, and we love all of those games. So the fact that it is a co-op game, I love the co-op games in this universe. I'm really excited about that.
That is a good pick. My next pick is another expansion, and it's because it's going to complete Tang Garden, which is a game we love, and it's so beautiful. I'm just very excited to finalize this, and it's an excuse for us to break it out again and maybe do a 5x5 or something.
Yep.
Where we have it on it. We do regular 5x5s. So I'm super excited for that, and just for another expansion, 10 Gardens, so to finish it out the game.
Yep. All right, go ahead.
Oh, it's me again? Another game I'm very interested in. God, I can't remember enough about it right now. Is Tiwanaku, which I believe should be shipped any moment now. And this one looks really good. It looks like a heavy Euro. I believe it's Polynesian. And I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong in theme. But it looks really good. And then along the lines of Sagrada Artisans, My City Roll and Build, for sure. Legacy Roll and Write. I'm just very interested in this idea. Because of my illness, we spent 2 years playing almost nothing but Roll and Write, so I've really gained a respect and love for Roll and Writes, although I got a little sick of them too. But I think this is something that'll breathe extra life into Roll and Writes, and we're going to be doing a video with our top 50 Roll and Writes soon, or videos.
Yeah, so stay tuned. We will post that soon, and be on the lookout for that. And then as these games come in, we will...
I have one more.
Oh, all right.
One of the Roll and Writes that we really loved is called Seven Bridges, and it's a really good Roll and Write where you just moving around a town in Europe, and I can't remember the name of the town right now. Konigsberg. the designer of that game is coming out with a game about hiking in the Smoky Mountains called Hike It.
How did I not know this? Did I know this?
We talked about it, but I'm super excited about it because he's a cartographer by trade or
Oh my goodness.
Cartesian, whatever he does.
Yeah.
So just like Seven Bridges was based on Cartesian principles, and this game also has standard like Cartesian principles as its foundation. I'm super excited.
I am very excited for that. The Little Plastic Castle, such a surprise every time. So yeah, that is awesome.
I'll stop there. I could go on.
Yeah, I know. I have more on my list, but I'm just going to stop there because I could just sit and list and list and list. So that is our top 10 most anticipated games of the 2023. Hopefully most of those will come in. And be on the lookout for our top 50 roll-in rights, which we are going to start soon.
And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And let us know what games you're looking forward to. 2023 looks like a big year. We had so many games to choose from. What games did we pick that you disagree with or agree with? But also, what are you looking forward to that we didn't even have on our radar? I think we're more in tune with the games we backed on Kickstarter, for example, than we are what's coming out commercially. And I know some of that's hard to keep track of, but I'm just interested in what other games are out there.
Yeah, I would add that especially. Again, you were so sick for so long that we didn't pay much attention. So we're just kind of paying attention again. So what did we miss? Tell us about it. We'd love to hear.
All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.